Hi Scorpio, this is going to be your daily read. Before we get into it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, or this is going to be an oracle reading. Before we get into it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you'd like to be notified every time I do post a new video. Like, comment, share your love and support. As always, please keep it positive. If you watch me, you know we've been going through some pretty challenging times. I have opened up my personal readings again, just because this is my only form of income at this time, and I'm not going to deny myself of that. You know, obviously I'm going to have to navigate through readings and just see what feels right and what doesn't, and it is what it is. That's there. Energetically, what I was going through this past week too, I've been processing quite a bit. And if you watch me, you know, it's been a lot. Last week when I was going through, or the last couple of weeks, I had to really process moving into somewhere that was being foreclosed on and that whole situation. So, yeah, I'm just trying to process it and move forward at this time. So I've been upset, but it's getting better. I know that, I'm just going to continue to keep doing the next right thing. So for me, right now we are hopefully going to be making headway this weekend or within the next week energetically, right? That's just positive vibes, right? I gotta practice what I preach right now too, in that sense, right? Of just speaking, things into existence, gratitude, all the things, right? So I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for my health that I do have right now. I'm grateful for the little things. Unfortunately, like I was saying, I'm having to ask for help here online, and because of what we've been through, and this is my platform, and it's okay I'm asking for help in a way like, hey, if you appreciate me, if you appreciate anything that I've ever done for you in your life, or just tuning into watching me, enjoying me, helping your life, that's just, and I'm very appreciative to any love and support that we've also been given, right? Because, I've been through some pretty unfair things in life, challenges, that just happen. Nobody asks for cancer. It's something that just happens, right? And so that sucked. And I'm still fighting to stay healthy too. And so in the middle of this has been challenging, but I'm very grateful to have been shown the love and support by genuinely good people. So moving forward, I know, like, there's reasons why I cut abusive energy out of my life. And so those energies, like I've been talking about in readings too, it's like when you cut like a narcissist off from their supply energetically, they will lose it, literally. And so I am a living, breathing, walking example of that, coming from a product of a home where I had to deal with it in my own home, in regards to my mom, and that whole situation, it's like it bled over. And so like into, in my personal life, like that's why I've spent like a year working on myself, even though I've been going through things, not involving myself in romantic situations or anything like that, as nice as it would be, because I know it's right for me. And one, I haven't had the time, but to be working on myself so I can be that good partner in a relationship or to someone else, or just being able to show up in life, right? And the extra stress and responsibility that you should have when you are genuinely in relationships or want to be involved in a loving, caring relationship, that does take a lot of time and work and energy, right? So if you're doing it with good intentions and you have those, good intentions or whatever, the intentions of making something work and being good, genuinely, somebody that wants that, right? And so for me, that's, in the future that I do hope that I have on this earth for as long as I have, those are the positive changes that I'm still been trying to, in the face of adversity, still work on, right? And so that's why I'm here to talk about it. That's what I'm here to help you with. I am no saint. I've been through my own problems in life just like the next person and continue to go through them, but it's also to help people understand and navigate too, right? So it's like understanding, why do we get, sometimes we can't help who we're born, what we're born into, right? Situations that we're born into, people, environments. We don't have control over that. But what we do have control over is how we're going to change if it's affected our life in a way that has made it difficult, right? And just in whatever way, right? It's being able to understand that you do carry the strength within you to make changes, and that you can be, that you're not necessarily going to be, because you come from this, that doesn't mean that that's all you're ever allowed to be, right? And so even if people, that feel like they're better than you, or feel like they may have more money than you, or feel like they deserve something because they're just, whatever, my parents have had money, and their parents had money, and their parents had money, and I never did shit with my life, but I'm just better than you because, right? We deal with a lot in society, and no shade to my high vibrational hard workers, no shade to my high vibrational wealthy people, because there are those too. And there are good people in society that do have money too. Just because you're rich does not mean that you're a bad person. There's a very big divide with all of that that's annoying, in my own personal opinion, but I believe it's a soul thing, right? And so for me, this understanding, this past year I've had to grow a lot through what I've been through in regards to connections. How I have the responsibility as being an example to my child. And so that was what ticked me off today. It was like, I do have a responsibility to be an example, right? And so with that example, I'm not out here hoeing around or bringing Tom, Dick, and Harry to my house, or whoever, or around my kid, or anything like that, right? I am not that person. So you can't sit there and say that I am. You know what I mean? And so for me, that's frustrating. That's why I have to keep it at arm's length. But when it comes to attacking my life, when I'm turning my back, and because that I turn my back and I choose to walk away, you're going to use that also as a weapon. Like, look, she's not going to show up and defend herself, so we can do whatever, we can say whatever, we can project whatever. No, some of you could be going through stuff like that, or changes in your life where you're having to make, emotional choices or changes where you're like, what is good for me, right? In regards to people, places, and things, and relationships. How can I move forward? And connect with people that are good for me, right? How have I stepped into, like, and really, my circle is super, super small, and has been for a very long time. So it's easy for me, because it is so small, and what I actually physically in the real world allow myself to, what I allow anyone to have access to, it's easy for me to pinpoint what is coming from where, right? Because a lot of people don't have access to me like that. But there's also the element of, because I have a public platform, because of situations, people, places, and things, and different situations in life, and a lot of it being very past tense, right? Being even, in a place where I grew up and did crazy things when I was younger and stuff like that. Like, who the heck hasn't, right? But still, like, people that have that tied to your name can hold that opinion about you. And I've even caught myself doing it about other people. So it is what it, it's just, it's something that it's hard for people to let go of ideas of who someone is and the way they live their life if they only know one thing and don't understand that people can grow and change, because we all have the opportunity and the ability to grow and change, right? And so with that being said, Scorpio, you could be facing some situations or going through changes or things in your life where, you could be hitting some roadblocks, or you've been dealing with some situations that have been rather difficult in that sense. But on the same token, or in the same sense, you could be also, not giving a F anymore, right? You know what I mean? Like, it is whatever you think is cool, but I know who I am. I know what I do. I know who I am, and I know who I am, and what goes on in my life, my mind, etc. You know what I mean? And your projections aren't going to affect my life in that sense. Now you can take it elsewhere and try to do whatever you do, but just understand that that's energy too, right? And there's something called universal law, and the energy you do put out in that regard, eventually it is going to come back to you. So whether you want to create situations that create somebody's downfall, whether you want to, you know, create smear campaigns, whether you want to create, you know, things that are forcefully, you know, or righteously, or whatever it is that you might feel in that sense, like, because there's a lot of stuff like that going on in the world, you know, you have to understand, like, people have to understand there's always some type, there's like the silver lining, right? You know, because what you put out, what you do, you get back, right? So you do have that personal responsibility to show up, you know, in everyday life with that understanding, right? You know, who I am today, what I do today is going to affect, right, my reality, right? And dealing with other people and situations. And, you know, part of the reason I don't even, you know, it's been a lot. You guys know, if you watch me, you know, it's been a lot here. It's been a lot the last couple of years. We're having to unfortunately make another move again, you know. So some of you could also be experiencing or going through situations like that in your own personal life too, and having to make moves, make adjustments and changes and stuff, right? So again, navigating through that is important. Maybe there needs to be this realization of who cares what anybody thinks. Really, this is my life, and you can have an opinion about it all you want. We're free to have opinions. It's like an asshole. Everybody's got one, right? So you know what I mean? Like, if you don't have one, that'd be a little weird, right? So in that sense, there is the energy of, like, we all have them. We're all free to have them, right? So the last time I checked, we are still free to think whatever we want to, right? So in that sense, that could also be somebody's own personal freedom, and, you know, take it to some, you know, liberation in some way, shape, or form, right? So for me, what I will say in this regard, in regards to this situation, you know, in my own personal life, it's been a really big eye-opener, right? In regards to being very, very careful about who I allow, even though I was already very careful about who I allow in my energy, but I think because of, you know, circumstances in my own personal life, you know, unfortunately, my platform was used as a weapon to hurt me more. And that's becoming very obvious and apparent, and it's okay. But it's not going to, because in my life, it's teaching me to, okay, yes, I stood up for myself. I've had to stand up for myself in so many different ways that it's kind of like, do I really have to keep doing this? You know, but here we are. And so for me, it's really about, yeah, you know, obviously I'm going to have to, right? You know, I'm not going to sit here and, you know, take it and not say anything. So, you know, in that sense, I do feel like hopefully that at some point in time, you know, something positive sinks in for someone. That if anybody is watching anything that I've ever put out content-wise and is carrying some sort of weird sideways animosity towards me and my life, that something seeks in regards to just trying to do better and be better as an individual in life, and just moving forward with integrity, or just, if you didn't in the past, learning how you can try to move forward in a better way, right? That creates better energy for you and the people around you, right? So I will have my sorry, personal readings are going to be open if you would like one. That information, how to make a payment, Venmo and Cash App, and how to email me will be in the description box below. I do have a GoFundMe link if you're interested in donating and would like to donate to the channel. Just because of the severity of the situation, emotionally, intense-wise, what's going on here in this place, it's just come to my attention that I don't think that we should be here. And it's okay, because we are going through, we have to figure out where to go and how, number one, and how to make that a safer, more stable move. So if you'd like to donate, again, like I've already stated, that's a whole spiel. If you've watched me, you know, we are trying to get ourselves somewhere where we can actually have a chance to actually rebuild again, because I haven't been able to. And I do believe there was a lot of outside energy in our situation, unfortunately, that wanted to prevent me from rebuilding and living even. So it is what it is. It's pretty obvious. I don't think I need to keep talking about it or saying it. Unfortunately, it's just been what's happened in my life. And so, that being said, I love you guys. Thank you for any love and support that we have been shown. If you would like to donate, our GoFundMe link is in the description box below. We do have a need to get us somewhere safe, stable, etc. fast. So that's there. Let's go ahead and get into it. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, please help me provide Scorpio, sun, moon, rising with any messages you would like for them to receive. Also protect us with your white light of protection through the tarot. Archangel Michael, please block any negative energy being sent our way. Send it back into the universe, into nothingness. Amen. Amen. Happy energy. I like it. Okay. And again, if you're going through things and they might not necessarily be happy, what are we happy for today? Right? For some of you, you could be, even for me in my own personal life, yes, I have challenges, but I could even be doing better than this person's energy and I'm being attacked. And that could be why, you know, who knows? There's all kinds of stuff going on. The things that were said to me, I'm taking it as knowing this person and their history and the way that they play games with people and situations, people, places, and things. There's a new campaign to try to wreck my life and make them look good and get everybody on some rescue everything. Please help me bury her, kill her, whatever it is, so I can just fucking win in life, right? Like, if that's what's making you breathe in life, I feel like at this point, some people who are that way, there is nothing that will ever change them, right? They have to come to Jesus or whatever it is for them moment themselves. And if you cannot make somebody want to change, do better, be better, whatever, live a different way, there's nothing you can do about that. You can keep moving forward and hope that somebody gets the help they need. But you can also take appropriate action in situations too to prevent things from happening to you, right? And so, fine lines. Some of you could be, again, there's boundaries here where you have to create boundaries or some level of a boundary in your life to prevent something from happening. But I do feel like it's going to be a happier thing for you, whatever this might be, or a happier energy, or it's going to ensure or bring a happier energy back to your life, or in it. Okay. Not for you. Exactly what I was saying. So some of you could just be realizing there are things that possibly are not for you. Yeah. Oh, this is so crazy because that's what I'm talking about. That never-ending cycle of like, okay, I'm on this hamster wheel here with this person, place, or thing, energy. It's never going to change. It's always the same. How many times do we need to keep going? Right? You know what I mean? Come on, right? So this is here. So for some of you, there's just this understanding, like, I totally 100% wholeheartedly get that this is not for me. And that's okay. It's really okay. I'm okay with it. Okay with it, right? You know, I'm okay to turn around, walk away and say, you know what, that's for me. And it is what it is. I'm not going to be vindictive. I'm not going to be rude. I'm not going to be crazy. I'm not going to start I'm just going to walk away and say, it's not for me. Sometimes people don't like that, right? And that's when you're in that energy, when you're being met with even more crazy, even more defiance, even more of that, because you're doing this, it's even more of a sign that you're doing the right thing. Okay. Just saying. What other messages do I have for Scorpio in regards to this reading? Message in a bottle. You're going to be getting an important message. 26 and the number 15 could be significant. Somebody wants to mend some sort of a connection or relationship with you. Okay, family member, lover, friend, whoever that might be. I do feel like it's a happy message because this energy is here. Tell me more. Truth be told, somebody wants to come in with some sort of a truth. Okay, if you've been getting signs and you've been seeing like owls, if you're like me, I get signs through birds and stuff like that. So there could be something significant here about a bird for someone. an owl specifically. Truth be told here, there's some sort of wisdom you're going to be gaining through some sort of truth here, but it's mending a situation that you're going to be happy about. Someone new is entering your life with chair filled as well. So there could be a situation here where somebody's also like, well, look, whatever it might be, there's a truth here. Truth be told, they want to come towards you, Scorpio. Okay. What else? In some way, shape, or form, even if it's a friendship. With the eagle here, we've got triumph over troubles and obstacles. And then hard work ahead with the table. The broken ring. Parting of ways either in romance or business. So if there was something here where somebody, person, place, or thing where you've been dealing with indecisive energy or an energy here that's indecisive, you've got a happier time ahead of you. It looks like whatever this hamster wheel is that you've been on, I feel like that's what you're kind of saying, you know what? Deuces, right? So with this energy here, there is hard work ahead in a situation. What else is here for Scorpio? Dissatisfaction with life. Cracked up. You're going to be stepping into yeah, so it's like, okay, I'm tired of what it's giving me the vibe of exactly what I'm talking about. So again, energetically, it could be a collective energy too. Look, I'm tired of this hamster wheel. I'm tired of feeling like I'm not satisfied with life in this situation, whatever it might be. I'm tired of whatever is going on here in regards to just trying to step into a new experience. For some of you, I feel like if you've wanted to step into a new experience and you've been thinking about it and you're going back around to this other energy or the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, because that is, what is it, the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting some sort of a different result. You know, there's stepping into a new experience here. Okay, boom, that was out. So for some of you, it's going to be fast too, whatever this might be. Something about the month of January is significant. Aquarius energy, Capricorn could be significant as well. And then we've got bouquet with the, I feel like it's more of like an energy of like time. So there's something, it says stepping into a new experience. I feel like I'll do a timeline question. Whenever we get months, it seems like a timeline. Compliments from an admirer. Unsuccessful problem to a situation. There's been a situation, again, broken bridge. So there's somebody burned the bridge and the foundation that was around it, on it, whatever, you know, like there is no building that bridge back ever, ever, ever here. For some of you, there could have been a situation where there was something that happened in your life where something could have, again, cracked up, has caused some sort of an issue where there was a parting of a situation, commitment. There's some sort of an unsuccessful outcome to a problem. There is a tower, so something could have created a tower as well. There is a solid foundation here though. Okay, so there's success with effort for some of you or for someone. So if there was a situation where you feel like, again, hard work, putting in the hard work. I feel like I'm just getting the vibe of somebody feeling like, and I get it, like putting in hard work everywhere. And it's just like, come on, universe, what gives right here? So here it is. Putting in the hard work. Somebody's been putting in the hard work consistently. Again, there could be residual inner energy you're battling, energies that don't want to see you do better, be better, that you're battling too, because there is, for me in my own personal experience lately too, I'll be going good or things will be going good. And here we go with the wham, bam, like here's this, you know, a situation that I have no control over, right? I don't have control over whether these people paid their mortgage or not. You know what I mean? And so for me, whether I gave them the rent money, I don't have control over what they were going to do with it, right? So in my own personal situation, it's like there's a tower here where, you know, you're putting in the work, you're doing these things, you know that you're doing the right thing here in situations. So again, it does or there is the energy of like having success with effort, having success here in a situation, whatever it might be, and being able to still move forward, and an energy of, look, I feel like it's like I'm stepping off this crazy hamster wheel. I'm understanding that's not the direction I need to be going in or care to, and that you are building a new solid foundation, right? Because that looks like it's still standing up, right? So even though it feels like maybe this is messed up and I don't feel like I'm building a solid foundation, you are. It just doesn't feel like it, okay? There's something here about dealings with a relationship with a man with blonde or gray or white hair that could be significant as well. Fair man or light skin. What other messages do I have for Scorpio? There have been temporary problems in a situation, cloud. So if there's been some sort of a situation, yeah, it could have been a financial situation, let go, let down, something. There is increased material wealth or spiritual growth here on the table. An exciting event, okay? And then someone you know is undependable and insincere with a feather. So there is a situation where it's like this energy's here, you know. I saw a feather earlier today too, falling down, and it was a white feather by the window, which to me is an angel. It's to me, you know, and I was also kind of upset, you know, in my own personal situation. Here's a situation, there's some dissatisfied with life, upset. You know, somebody's independable and insincere, or just not, you know, again, somebody that puts on the show of, I'm this nice, sincere person, I'm this good person, I'm this, I'm that, and just a lot of heavy energy projection here. Okay, I'm getting that vibe where a situation is not legit, somebody's not sincere, and I feel like Scorpio is always going to pick up on, we just pick up on real, right? We just do. And for some of you, you're seeing something here where there could even be the energy of somebody trying to, again, get you in an energy that is also making you seem undependable and insincere. And so I feel like that's why you're stepping off forever. And I get this, you're stepping off that hamster wheel or doing something here that is going to prevent this energy from being able to do that to you anymore, okay? An exciting event is here. So there is something here with a gong as well, where there's an exciting event for someone where you're going to be, something about December, preparing yourself for, I guess, maybe. Yeah, because somebody's been trying to create some sort of a wedge for you in some sort of an energy, okay, in this regard as well. So just keep that in mind. Could be Capricorn energy because December's there. You know, if there's something that you're accomplishing or something that you're moving towards or something like that, there could be an energy of, oh no, Scorpio can't accomplish shit that's good. No, I don't want to have that. Right? Whatever this might be. Yeah. It's stressing somebody out. Honestly, whatever that is, it's stressing someone out. Financial stability. What other messages do I have for Scorpio? Somebody has been untrustworthy and manipulative, but I feel like that's, yeah, somebody you've already walked away from, or you're learning that it's time to walk away from, and there's the wedge. Okay. So for some of you, you're seeing it, you're dealing with it and moving forward. King of Swords in reverse. King of Cups in reverse. We've got air sign placements and water. Somebody feels, there's that dictator vibe, right? So there is some sort of an injustice here that's been done with manipulation. And for some of you, it's energy manipulation, or just, again, people talking, whatever it might be. There's some sort of manipulation in a situation that you're understanding that, okay, I see this for what it is. I understand it's time for me to walk away for whatever reason in that regard from people, place, thing, situation. There was only something that was a temporary problem, and I heard not your problem. So for some of you, it's not your problem, legit. And so why should you sit there and deal with it? All right, stepping into a new experience. And I don't mean that in a rude way. I mean that in, like, if this is somebody else's problem in their life, they're doing something wrong or stress something. Yeah, you know, there's something here that's, it's not yours. It's not your burden to carry. It's not your problem to carry. What other message do we have here? Yeah, justice in reverse. somebody's been very also like kind of just unfair, you know, just unfair in a situation. I feel like for whatever it was, instead of just harping on that energy, like in my own personal situation, somebody could understand that it also keeps you in a cycle, like when you stay stuck in that energy. And that's how intelligent, you know, and I may be giving this person too much power, but I don't think so. In these situations with the energy that I've been dealing with, and even if somebody's been, if they've been dabbling in something like energy manipulation quite a bit, after a certain point, you have to understand that there is something that could possibly even take over that person's energy. So you may not even physically be dealing with a normal energy anyway. And I know in my case, absolutely not, right? And so there's that element on, and that's what you sign up for when you're playing in that energy and doing those things, right? So you have to understand, like, sometimes there is no understanding of why. There is no understanding of, I can't make sense of this. Why would this person do this? Why would they behave this way? Because leave it there. It's where it needs to be left, moving forward, right? So you do have compliments from an admirer coming in, and some type of financial support and stability as well with the Six of Pentacles. All right, tell me more for Scorpio. So there could be even just some sort of like, this is also you could even be like participating in some type of charity event. There is going to be freedom with whatever this is. I like that vibe. So there's some sort of freedom here in regards to like participating with some type of charity event, finding direction. I do feel like there could be like some sort of a chance meeting here is what it's giving me too. And I'm hearing music now. So again, event, you could want to dance or something here where it's time to let this past situation go, because this person is stuck in the past and they're not ever going to be able to get out of the past. And one thing, like when a conversation, like when a lot of this stuff happened, you know, in my own personal life, you know, when I got Cadence, my child, away from a bad situation, you know, her father did show up to court looking pretty rough. Now, in my heart of hearts as a person, you know, I hope anybody gets their self together in that sense. You know, I'm pretty sure it looked like, I don't know, you know, I have my, I don't know. I mean, the behavior, some of the behavior was knowing the person that was living with him, you know, and what they had involved themselves in the past, that it was probably meth or something like that. And, you know, that it was very erratic and crazy. And so whatever it wasn't something that is normal. And even though, like, some people can just, you know, some people that are on substances and addicted to certain things can be like normal functioning people, right? Or not to an extent, you know, still going to work, still doing things, still, you know, moving in life, but still like having that crutch as how they are still moving. And so that person is very much still stuck in the past. And so like, even, sorry, that fell off. So there's, yeah, sick, the Four of Swords, needing to heal. And it's funny how that just flew off. And so that's how you stay sick though, is staying stuck in the past, reliving past traumas, things like of that nature, why it's not healthy to continue to do that, right? Or continue to keep yourself in for physical health in some sort of a weird cycle like that, right? So there's something here standing out where for some of you, there's a maturity, or it could even be just like the age that you are, or, you know, how you're moving in your life at this time, right? Whatever, there's some sort of energy that I feel like if you've not been playing enough, stepping into more playful, lighthearted energy, you know, being able to connect and vibe. I feel like for me, you know, even if it's just in nature, that's my big thing. Like, put me by water, put me outside in some grass, I don't care, just outside, and I'm one happy girl. I don't know what it is about me and being outside, but I love it, right? And so you might vibe like that, right? So there's something here though that helps you move forward, whether it's meditation, prayer, you know, things that inspire you, hobbies, you know, things that you like to do, music, you know, there could be a number of things right here where, you know, it seems like somebody's only interest is attacking, or, you know, or not attacking, or keeping somebody in a wheel here, a cycle. Or if you're just surrounding yourself around people that are stuck in this cycle, that's like, okay, all right, you know, like obviously we're staying stuck here and not going anywhere, right? So for some of you, I do feel like it could even, you know, you are the mature person, because that says maturity, you know, even though, you know, it's understanding like, okay, there's nothing happy. There's no more happy memories here in a situation. There's no more happy anything here in a situation. So the mature thing for me to do is say, deuces, right? This isn't going to be good for me, right? So you know, and when you are in this energy, like I've said over and over again, and I've been saying it a lot lately, when you are doing better and trying to be better, there's always going to be, especially people that can't get past the past, that have let the past literally, you know, take the wheel and they've let the past take over in some way, shape, or form, whether it's vengeful thoughts, being, you know, needing to make somebody pay and have vengeance and whatever it might be, you know, that's when it crosses a dangerous line, right? So there's that understanding of, you know, okay, I'm going to be the mature adult here, a mature person in a situation, see that, you know, whatever it might be, you know, in my own personal life, it's having to understand, like, most of the time I can put that on the back burner, but when you're going to come into my life and try to, if you know I'm struggling in a situation, and try to, because life is lifing in certain aspects, because I am a single mother and I've had financial issues because of cancer and other things, you're not going to come kick me when I'm down, because you're going to take that as your new opportunity to make sure that I don't succeed in life, because you can't get over the past that happened 20 something years ago, or whatever it is, if that makes sense, right? So there's something here going on for some of you where you're having to say, look, yeah, you know, I don't know, that's there. So any more messages for Scorpio in that regard? Disagreements, unstable. Yes, there's some sort of tension here or division, and it's supposed to stay that way for whoever I'm speaking to with the Two of Cups. It's Spirit saying, look, you know, there's divide here for a reason. You know, and what it's going to take for that divide not to be there is maturity and growth, right? And if somebody isn't, you got to let somebody, whether they get there eventually or not, you don't have to get, and I've heard somebody say it, in their sick bed with them, right? You know, it's easier said than done when somebody is literally taking you in your life and dragging you into it. It's a little hard, right? To not sort of get into it, right? But, you know, yeah. I love you guys. Triumph over troubles and obstacles. I hope this is helping someone today. If this resonated, good luck, best of luck. It does look like there's going to be an increase in material wealth, spiritual growth, someone new entering your life. You're mending some relationships as well. There is a level of truth that does look like it's coming out. I don't know what this is in regards to, but it'll make sense wherever it makes sense for. But there's also spiritual wisdom with the number of 14 that's been gained here. And I feel like that's what's important, or the most important in this situation for whoever I'm speaking to. Lots of love and light. Again, if you'd like a personal reading, that information is going to be in the description box below, as well as my GoFundMe link. Until next time, bye.